Hello, and welcome to Dawnsbury Days, a video game based upon the Pathfinder 2 rule set, which is a TPRPG, tabletop role-playing game, similar to Dungeons & Dragons. In fact, it originally began as an offshoot from Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. This is primarily a team-based tactics game with a story, and it is an indie game that focuses on the core gameplay values rather than fancy graphics. Frankly, it reminds me of the Pathfinder 2 games that I am currently running as a DM, using a virtual tabletop where we move people around the grid, people roll their dice, or virtual dice as the case may be, say what they're trying to do, and I adjudicate what happens. It very much feels like that, so it captures the feel of playing through a pen and paper type game, right? An actual game with people controlling characters. Now, within the constraints of the story, this is more like the narrative decisions are made by other people and you're watching those in cutscenes, but during the combats themselves, and at certain points within the encounters, you can make some other decisions in addition to managing level up and inventory, and so on. So I have found this to be quite enjoyable. I actually only discovered it about a month or so ago, but apparently it's been out for about a year, and the big news is that they just released an expansion called the Profane Barrier. So, this is going to be a playthrough not just of the original levels 1 through 4, but also the Profane Barrier expansion, and we're probably going to try to do a video or two per level. So, let's go ahead and call this Profane Barrier Launch Party, as this is the first time I'm playing this since the official launch. I have been helping beta test it. And as you see here, we have 4 characters. Anna Questa, I think, Scarlet, Takdar, and Safi. As it states at the top, we're going to create 4 characters. These four will form our adventuring party. The personalities and voice lines are fixed, but you can change everything else, though there are a few things they do strongly suggest, as like having Takdar be an orc or half-orc and having no one else be an orc, because that's what the story will assume at times. But you can still freely ignore that if you want to for gameplay purposes. Settings-wise, we are sitting over here on... We are going to be playing the insane difficulty. As you can see, there's a bit of a description here. Easy is the enemies are weaker, medium is the standard experience, hard is the PF2 player seeking a tactical challenge, and insane is, well, insane. We will need an optimized party, strong tailored strategies, and even then we may need luck. There are some optional rules toggles you can do here. I am basically generally playing this on the strictest general setting, which is that you do drop items when knocked out, because those are the rules. I actually don't run that in the games that I run, incidentally, but I'm going to do it here because we're playing on Insane, damn it. Swapping items, they did a rules patch because the rules were problematic, so I'm using basically the rules official patch that the game designers added in later, and there's some other finicky stuff that I'm not going to get into right now that actually means that it's effectively was already that anyway. Not worth going into. Concealment applies to targeting allies. If somebody's invisible and you try to hit them with a heal spell, there's a chance that you will miss because they are invisible. Yes, that is the default rules. Some people say that we're not going to do that, but them's are the rules. Allies do provide soft cover, which means they can have blocked shots. This is some kineticist stuff, not going to be relevant, and there's really no reason to drop prone in almost every situation. So, those are the rules we're going to be running with here. And now it is time for us to do some character creation. We can see Anna is the leader of the Dawnsbury Forest. She's wise, contemplative, mature, motherly, and confident. She knows how to speak to each party member and how to bolster the team's morale. So, let's see what we're going to do from here. Now, the designer of the game specifically requested I include a Shortbow ranger as part of this party, and to have 4 different classes to show off, things rather than like double or tripling up on certain classes. So here's what I think we're going to go with. First of all, Anna makes sense as a human. We're going to go with Versatile Heritage, which gives us an extra general feat. As you can see, there's a lot of different ancestry / previously called races, and there's a lot of different sub-heritages within them. I'm not going to go into all of the stuff because obviously feel free to pick up the game yourself and give it a whirl. Background. We're going to, her designated background is Natural Leader, which is again specifically crafted. We get Constitution or Charisma. Again, I'm not going to explain everything as we go here. I'll explain it as it comes up, like the ability boosts. And our class, we're going to be an inspiring leader, so let's be a bard. But we're not going to be some kind of prancing ballet dancer. No, we are going to be a Valkyrie, a battle maiden, armored up, kicking ass and taking aims with a giant maul while singing praises to Valhalla. Ability scores. Well, as a bard, we're going to want charisma. So we're going to max those out. The way this works is you get 2 ancestry boosts, 2 background boosts, though there's usually a restriction on 1. You get a class boost, and then you get 4 free boosts. Each boost basically gives you +1 in that stat in terms of modifier, or +2 in terms of the scores it's calculated here, for reasons that I'm not going to really get into right now. So, the main question at this point is we're definitely going to do that, and we're definitely going to do these. The question is what to do on this last bonus. So, if we pick strength, that'll help us more right now. But every 5 levels, or the 5th level, 10th, 15th, and 20th, we'll get a bonus to 4 different stats. And if we pick strength right now, that may create some awkwardness later on, just due to some of the math that, I'm not going to go into heavily here. So I am thinking for a moment. If we pick that up, we'll end up at 20 strength, but we can end up at 20 strength no matter what. This lined up at 18 constitution, 18 wisdom, and we'll have to boost intelligence or dexterity, which is not the end of the world. But it will create some slight awkwardness there. So the main question at this point, do we go for strength for an extra attack and damage, or do we go with constitution for an extra fort and extra hit points? The Pathfinder 2 actually has a lot of very excellent choices. This is why I'm finding this so difficult to finalize right here. The good news is you can retrain things later. Okay, so this will wind up with 1 wasted boost, 1 wasted boost, 1 wasted boost, which means you would wind up with having 13 int probably, sorry, +3 int as well. Or we only have 1 boost we need to put there. Okay, we're going to go for con. We need to be alive to smack things with the ball, which means we will miss slightly more, but I think it still will be fine. And I think the extra survivability will help at times. Skills. We've occultism, at performance. We are good at charisma, so probably intimidation will be good. And let's go ahead and grab acrobatics. This will be especially useful for something called kip up later on, which allows you to stand up while prone. As you can see, there's a wide variety of feats. We have ancestry feats. We're going to go for natural ambition to give us an extra class feat. Eventually we're going to pick up the heavy armor training. But we're not actually going to be able to use... No, that's actually... You know what? That's actually a strong argument to do this. We're going to go with the 16 strength so we can actually be using heavy armor early on, which will also help shower up our dexterity saves. Okay. If we pick up the heavy armor, we can start off with an extra AC, which wouldn't be bad. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we're grabbing heavy armor proficiency. Cantrips. Let's see. We'll grab shield. We'll grab telekinetic projectile. We'll grab needle darts. And give some guidance, perhaps. I don't know if we're going to really need needle darts specifically if we already have telekinetic projectile. I'm tempted to grab Forbidding Ward here, which allows me to give somebody a status bonus to AC if we're fighting somebody. This is mainly here if we need a longer ranged attack. Starts off at 60 feet instead of 30. But you know what? We're going to be closing to melee anyway. I say we can do that. We can always change... Oh, we get an extra one anyway. Okay. We get 2 level 1 spells, one of which is automatically Fear. Let's grab Magic Weapon, which allows us to bolster the weapon of ourselves or somebody else until we get a proper magic weapon. Let's see what else we got here. Bless is kind of because we're going to already get that from our cleric in the party. Let's grab Magic Missile. That could be one of our good ranged attacks, where we have the ability to throw magic missiles from a distance if we need to really pump in some hurt there. Yeah, and there's protection too. We may grab that later. Natural Ambition feed. What do we got here? Extra level 1 slot, extra cantrips, Hem of Healing, which allows us to give a target 2 temporary hit points and fast healing 2. That's basically 4 hit points around. If they're getting damaged, then they're sustained. We can pick up Breach Spell, or we can get Well Versed. I'm tempted to grab Breach Spell. I think I'm going to grab Breach Spell. Hymn of Healing isn't bad, but we're already going to have somebody else who's more dedicated as a healer and support. Reach Spell will be useful so that we can cast a spell to buff somebody not quite in melee range and then still smack somebody with our giant maul. No, well, for use spell we wouldn't be able to move anyway. Still, I think that's going to be helpful. I think the Hymn of Healing will be less helpful at times. Though, we can always pick it up later, and we can always swap things around. That'll give our cantrips back next to regenerate. So what are we going to do here? Well, eventually we can actually start off by wearing half-plate, but we can't afford the half-plate. So we're going to go with a breastplate, and we're going to go with a maul. And then let's see if there's any interesting scrolls to kind of top things off that seem of interest. I think what I'm going to do here, Scroll of True Strike, that'd be helpful, you know. The problem is that we activate Scroll of True Strike, and then we have to haul out the maul, and then we have to swing. But True Strike would actually be something very interesting, be worth to grab later. I don't think it's worth grabbing right now. I think the Magic Missile or Magic Weapon will be better at early level, but True Strike, we should definitely get that later. We can use that to bolster our attacks as the Warrior Bard. That'll actually be very helpful. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm going to grab an extra Scroll of Heal. We can't actually use it, but somebody else will be able to. Anna, she's quiet, introverted, analytical, and perceptive. She speaks little and tersely, but everything she says matters. And while she prefers to sit in silence, she enjoys the company of her friends immensely and will fiercely defend them in case of need. She has excellent senses and can quickly understand what they're telling her, serves as the party's scout. Her voice sounds closest to human or elf, and she is indeed an elf by default, so we can go ahead and go elf by default, I suppose. Ancestry, elf. Originally I made her human, and she doesn't really actually look specifically elfish, but she is elf by default, so we'll go with that. Do we want cold resistance, fire resistance, or really good senses? Whisper elf, much bigger cone to detect things. That's interesting. Fire damage does seem to be common, so let's go with the Desert Elf, I guess. Background, Quiet Explorer. You've always liked quiet and secluded places. You've explored every nook and cranny of Dawnsbury and beyond to find them. You've scoured through the town sewers, and you've traveled the canopy of Dawnsbury Wood, all just to find a solitary place where you could read in peace. Class, we're going to go Ranger. Going to grab the Precision Damage Hunter's Edge, because that'll work well with sniping things at a distance or needing to move to get a better shot. Flurry tends to... you basically need to get like 3 or more attacks per round to make Flurry good, and that winds up being tricky to do a lot of the time. Also, a Shortbow will have problems, so we're using a Shortbow, so we're going to want that for sure. We're going to need some Constitution. Going to want some Strength. And Wisdom, and then I guess we get one more. Do we want Charisma or Intelligence? I guess we'll go intelligence for an extra skill, perhaps, because I don't think charisma is going to really matter to her. So yes, this basically means we're giving up constitution for intelligence, which for a ranger does not actually super help, but we'll go with what the default races are, or ancestries are. Now the strength will matter in case she needs to wield a backup weapon in melee, or when she gets composite bows, which will give a damage bonus. Skills, we're going to want a bunch of things here, so we're going to like thievery and stealth, she's going to be doing that. We can grab, I don't know if we're going to really need athletics. We get 3 more options. Intimidation's not going to actually help. We'll grab Arcana and Occultism, and to give the ability to try to stop first aid, I guess. That'll be fine. I think that's fine for right now. We can deal with other things if they pop up. Oh, I guess, you know, should we grab athletics? We probably should grab athletics. Okay. Ancestry feat. We'll grab Nimble Elf, increases our speed by 5 feet. That seems pretty good. Though circumstance bonus to strike damage against demons equal to the number of weapon damage dice. That doesn't sound bad. So, that basically means even at like level 8, we're only going to be getting +2 damage, best case scenario, and even then only against demons. But demons will also be some of the hardest things we fight. So Nimble Elf is good. As you can see, the stuff at level 5 there, so I want to be faster. We're probably already fast enough, especially since we are using a ranged weapon. We shouldn't need to ideally move as much. Let's go with the Demon Bane Warrior, because some of the things we have these demonic invaders. Probably some of the toughest enemies will be demons. Ranger feat, Animal Companion, no, we're not going to grab that. It's requested to not grab that and focus on the 4, which makes sense. Crossbow Ace, no, because we're not using a crossbow. Heal Companion, Magic Height, Twin Takedown. So we got Hunted Shot and Gravity Weapon. Gravity Weapon says on our first weapon strike each round, we gain a status bonus equal to twice the number of damage dice. That might not be a bad thing to grab eventually, but I think Hunted Shot's probably going to be better at the start. That allows us to like Hunter's Prey, move, and do a Hunted Shot, for example. But Gravity Weapon is something we can grab. Hunter's Aim will be good next. Because at level 4 here, I'm not sure we have something we really want at level 4, so we could probably pick up Gravity Weapon then. Okay, so I'm going to give her a Maul as well. And we can't afford a composite shortbow, but we can give her a normal shortbow. And then we can give her some leather armor. Now you might be thinking, why are we grabbing a Maul? Well, the answer is that if we find something like skeletons or something else with piercing resistance early on, we don't do a ton of damage. Or if we find something, especially if it's resistant to precision, like if we find a ghost. So Mauls deal with piercing resistance, and they have a bigger damage dice. And they're better at dealing with something like, for example, oozes and other stuff that you are immune to precision and you don't want to smack with that. So, Maul's a good backup weapon. We'll go ahead and we can afford another scroll of heal there, which we will again give to our cleric. Takdar, he's the newest member of the party who abandoned his orc tribe to become a Dawnsbury citizen and a part of the Dawnsbury Four. Like his erstwhile tribe mates, he is proud and enjoys battle, but unlike them, he is noble, cares for his friends, and conducts himself with the highest ethical standards. Well, he's an orc. Kind of told us that right there. Intimidation, 12 hit points, and Die Hard. So I think we want Hold Scarred Orc for the extra hit points, or we want the Intimidation. I don't know how much we're going to focus on Intimidation specifically, so I'm going to go with Hold Scarred Orc for right now, just for the Die Hard, and the extra hit points. Background, Ward of Dawnsbury. You've turned away or lost connection to your ancestry. You've come to Dawnsbury instead, where you found yourself surrounded by a caring community of humans who taught you what it means to be a human, and you liked it. You get intelligence or wisdom and a free boost. Class, let's go with a paladin. He says he's lawful good. That means that we're a holy champion, and if an enemy dares damage an ally near us, we get to shield them from some damage and smack them. Ability scores, we're going to want high strength, we're going to want reasonable con, and put a point into charisma there. And we'll probably boost all 4 of those, honestly. So I guess the question is, I think his will save is probably going to be slightly more important than doing a little bit more, or having slightly better intimidate chance, if we grab that. Let's see, acrobatics and intimidation, maybe? We have long term, we may use that. Athletics, the main problem is, I mean, you can escape or grapple or trip, but you can also use your unarmed for that. So, I guess it is a better chance to escape with athletics if you put it legendary. If we had 1 more skill point, this would be easier, but alas, we don't seem to have that. Or maybe we'll get something later. Oh, right, we pick a deity. We'll come back to this. Ancestry feat. Let's go with Orc Ferocity. Once per day, if you've reduced to 0 hit points, we stay standing and become wounded. That'll help. Deity. Attainable. Perfection. That sounds potentially good. Blooming Flower. Civilized Floats. That doesn't really sound... Tocto doesn't really seem like a flowers guy. Cerulean Sky. Goddess of Night. Everlasting Storm. The Oracle. Unbreakable Friendship. Unquenchable Infernal. Becoming their paragons of ability and virtue capable in a better world. That sounds very paladin-y, doesn't he? So let's do that. Which also means there we pick up athletics. Hooray. Champion's Feat. We're going to grab ranged reprisal. This means that if the enemy tries to be just out of our reach, we can step forward and smack them anyway if they dare hit our ally, which will help. Inventory. Let's go ahead and we'll give me a nice long sword and a steel shield and a breastplate. And just in case we find something that's bad, we will, stop me if you've heard this one before. We'll give him a maul. Just in case we have something that a sword and shield can't take care of. That covers piercing and slashing with the longsword and bludgeoning with the maul. And you might ask, well, why not grab like a warhammer instead? The main thing is that if we're dealing with something where slashing and piercing is bad, we may just need to really focus on offense and overpower it and smack it down hard. But we can always look at something later. Safi. The youngest member of the team. He is inexperienced and excitable, but ready to prove himself and is quite capable of holding his own in combat and supporting his allies. So he looks pretty human to me. Background, protege of Dawnsbury. You've been cherished by the people of Dawnsbury since early childhood. They've doted on you and helped you develop from a precocious child into a strong and dexterous adventurer capable of braving life's many dangers, and brought them no end of joy to see you undergo that amazing journey. Alright, let's make you a cleric. Let's go with the Oracle on this one, perhaps. Care for each other, enjoy your life, protect civilization. That's fine. So we're going to want wisdom. We're going to want charisma. The charisma gives us a divine font, which gives us extra heals. It would have been better if the background bonus would have allowed charisma, but oh well. It's not the end of the world. So we have pretty reasonable defense for a caster, and our hit points are a little bit lower. I definitely would prefer to have the dexterity over there and charisma, because that's an extra heal per day, but this is more than functional. Skills, got athletics, religion, society, acrobatics. We're going to have a lot of wisdom, so let's get medicine. You're standing in the back. Do I really care about acrobatics on him? Maybe not. but also like natures, as far as I know, isn't even really used in this game. So I'll probably leave that as is for right now, and we can always adjust it later. Let's grab some natural ambition. Let's grab, I'm thinking toughness or shield block. We do get a shield cantrip. The problem with the shield cantrip, if it gives less AC, and also you can only, once you block with it, you're done for the fight. I think I'm going to grab shield block here. Doctrine, War Priest, or Cloistered Cleric. We're going to go for Cloistered Cleric. We are a primary caster. The only real, I guess the Bard is also a primary caster. But we have 2 melee already. Healing Font. We can get Reach Spell or Healing Hands. Both seem pretty good. I think I'm going to go with Reach Spell just so we can hit things at a range. We're going to go with Domain. Let's go with Healing. Shop and Inventory. We're going to grab some Explorer's Clothing. We'll give you a Steel Shield. And then we can grab a Scroll of Heal and some other scrolls. You might be thinking, why am I grabbing the Scrolls of Heal instead of Potion? Well, the Scrolls of Heal will heal for 1d8 plus 8, so that's 12.5 hit points for 4 gold. Minor Healing Potion costs the same and only heals for 4.5. So the Scroll of Heal is almost triple as powerful. But the catch is that, of course, you need someone who can cast it. Cleric's Prepared Spells. We got some cantrips. Let's get a Divine Lance. Let's get some Undead Disruption. We don't really need Shield because we have a shield. Guidance could prove useful at times. Grab some Needle Darts. Longer range for, so if it's not undead and it doesn't take a line of damage, Needle Darts are basically what we got there. Level 1, we have 3 heals for free. We also have Magic Weapon, potentially, or Bless. I think, at least at these early levels, that Magic Weapon is going to be very helpful, and that means Scarlet can do other things. And we still do have these 3 heals, though maybe... we will want more heals eventually. Scarlet can provide our magic weapons if we need magic weapons, I think. I think having the extra damage... You know what, we're going to split it. I want that 4th heal, but I'll keep 1 magic weapon that I can cast. And then, here we are. Alright.
Our point of light. Plane floating through the endless void, bearing a blossoming civilization. Until 7 years ago, when during a single night, thousands upon thousands of rocks smashed into the surface of our point of light. This was the night of the shooting stars, and the beginning of this latest time of danger and turmoil. The night passed, but its consequences did not. From the rocks that fell onto the western reaches emerged otherworldly monsters who began to conquer and consume our lands. The kingdom mobilized, and we assembled great armies to hold the line against these outsiders. We have been only partly successful. A front line emerged between the demons and our lands, and the war came to a stalemate. But men and women were siphoned off the kingdom to reinforce the defensive line, and precious few were left to protect towns like Dawnsbury from the more ordinary threats of marauding orcs and kobolds. Perhaps worse still, the volcano in that corner of the world has started erupting with a terrifying regularity. The citizens of Dawnsbury are afraid, and time has come for heroes to take up the burden of responsibility and save this beautiful town from the sinister clouds gathering over it.
Alright. We gather in the Dawnsbury main square and glance nervously at the nearby horizon. Soon the time will come to begin your first quest. Before that, you'd best get yourselves ready, shrug off your anxiety, sit in the grass, and discuss battle tactics. So we're in downtime, we're in Dawnsbury. We can retrain things as needed, but we can only do that while we're in town, and we can shop. So if we wanted to change things, we could do it here. Here in the shop, we can manage inventory, including giving more scrolls over there. Which probably would have been an argument to give more magic weapons to Safi, but Anna already has magic weapons too. So, you know what, I'm fine with it. As you see, we only have 5 gold at the moment, but I think we're pretty set here. So, our first quest. Our Mentric Roderick gives us final and questions for the first quest. Let's see how insane this is. Scarcely is he done, you are already set upon by danger. Gasp!
And if you encounter any undead, remember they are weak to positive energy.
So we'll cast heal on them, using all 3 actions so we hit all of them at once. Right, Roderick?
Yes. I don't think there will be any undead, but the temple with the candelabra has been abandoned for 7 years, and you know how these things go. And kobolds have been swarming in the woods lately. If they ambush you, they will likely attempt to flank you.
So we will focus them one by one to reduce their numbers. We know all this, Elder. You trained us well and we are ready to prove our worth. Give us your blessing, and we will go.
Blessing? But Roderick isn't a cleric. Only clerics can cast Bless.
Even so, I agree with Tokdar. We are ready, Roderick.
I know you are. Then I will waste your time no longer. Dawnsbury 4. Your quest is to find and retrieve the Golden Candelabra, an ancient artifact that protected our town for generations. Go to the abandoned temple to the east and descend into the sanctum. Find the candelabra, take it, and come back. Dawnsbury depends on you, and you are ready. Good luck.
We'll make you proud, Roderick.
The abandoned temple is 10 miles east, largely through a forest. If we leave now, we'll get there before nightfall.
Then let's leave now, friends. My blade thirsts for victory.
Are we really going on a real quest? Just the 4 of us?
Of course, Sappy. We are the Dawnsbury 4. We're adventurers now.
Wait! I hear something. 2 small humanoids approaching through the undergrowth from the east.
Bah! So you saw our ambush. No matter. We will defeat you, and then I will become the new battle leader.
2 kobold warriors, untrained, poorly equipped. My assessment? Trivial threat.
Look at yourself, pitiful creature. You are frail and outnumbered. Flee now, or you will die here.
Gah! We not listen to stupid orc. We fight.
Very well then. We fight. Places, everyone. Just like we rehearsed. Let's show these brigands what the Dawnsbury 4 can do.
Our quest is about to end before it began. Cut down in the glory of our youth and inexperience. Oh no. Safi, what are we going to do? Well, 2 kobold warriors, elite though they may be, is probably not worth burning a bunch of resources on them. So, let's hold down tab, and that actually shows you from a given square where something is. So our Divine Lance is 30 feet, so we can move over to there, and we'll toss out a Divine Lance that is good aligned, because the kobolds are evil. That gives us a 50% chance to hit, where he missed. The elite kobold warrior scored a critical hit. You can see on the right hand side here we have a combat log. We rolled a 5 plus 7 miss, and of course the kobold rolls a natural 20 critical hit. But because we are a paladin, they are about to deal 8 damage to Scarlet. Use our champion reaction to burst 3 of that damage. Yes. Anna, it is time to sing some songs here. So we're going to go ahead and maneuver over here to give us a flanking bonus. And let's go ahead and inspire some courage. So all allies within 60 feet will get +1 attack, damage, and saves against fear. It's a status bonus. And then we have a 60% chance to hit here. Pow. Well, that was a... Well, we rolled max damage there. 12 plus 3 strength plus 1 inspire courage. 32 total damage. That'll do the trick. Tokdar now has the bonus from Inspire Courage. We'll try to strike.
All threats eliminated.
Or we can crit again. That's also fun.
We won, Scarlet! We won!
Excellent work, team. Now, let's rest a little, and then we set off for the abandoned temple.
Alright, we did it. A short reprieve, you can't stay long, you have time enough to focus. All party members will be healed to full hit points because of medicine checks. We've regained all focus points if we have a focus pool, and we've received loot. We've received some minor healing potions and a barkskin potion. I'll probably sell the barkskin potion. But we'll give each of you a minor healing potion if we have it anyway. Halfway through the forest, as we journey towards the abandoned temple, we're ambushed by a party of kobolds.
Wait. Kobolds! Hiding behind those rocks over there.
That's a lot of kobolds.
A second kobold raiding party in one day? The kobolds indeed are swarming.
Show yourselves, bandit weaklings! Who are you?
Ha ha ha, yes! I will tell you my name. I am Nightbringer, the legendary dragon mage of the Fiend from Stars. I will be the one who takes your lives today.
A legendary mage? But I haven't even learned to spell magic yet. What can we do?
I don't feel that much power from him. I think he knows maybe level 1 spells at best. Still, we should probably down him first.
I will not be going down, neither first nor last.
Note the question mark next to legendary dragon mage at this point. Like Nightbringer. Legendary? Maybe? Dragon mage.
We will see about that. Let's roll initiative.
Alright, so I think what we should do is charge forward immediately and then get swarmed and killed by the kobolds. Or, we can try an alternative tactic. We are going to delay, which means we can postpone our initiative. We're going to try to let them approach first. So we're going to delay till after Safi, until after the first kobold warrior. Safi over here, what are we going to do? We can toss out some needle darts over there. We missed, and raise our shield. We'll let one approach here. And now we will try to drop the hammer on this guy. 7 damage. So I could swing again, and I will still have a 45% chance to hit. But these other kobolds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're going to come. They're probably going to swarm Tokdar, so I'm going to raise my shield. That gives me a 2 AC bonus, which will make me harder to hit. And it'll also allow me to block at least one of their attacks. Like that. Yes, so we only get to react once here, but it does mean we reduce 5 damage, and we still get the bonus of raising our shield. Alright, so over here, let's go ahead and let's try to smack down this fella here. We can inspire some courage. We can't get a proper flank, but we can swing here. There we go, he's down, won't get another action. Nightbringer tries to fear us, does fear us, and blasts us with a magic missile, which I think rolled max damage. And he gets a 4 damage bonus for being elite mage, because he's level 3. That's slightly scary. Anna is now a bit wounded over here. So, let's go ahead and try to clear out the area. We're going to move up here so we have no cover, which you can see from that. Do a hunted shot, and we took out that kobold. Here comes more kobolds. Well, that's just rude of them to be ignoring the targets. Okay, so Anna is not looking the best right now, so we're going to do a couple things. We're going to give her a healer's blessing. Oh, by the way, a big thing about that is she is frightened too from the fear, which means she has -2 attack, -2 saves, -2 armor class, and -2 skills. So that's a substantial debuff that the Nightbringer put on her over there. We gave her a healer's blessing, so she'll get 2 more hit points from healing spells. We're going to use one of our 4 heals. There we go. We rolled a 5. That was literally exactly what we needed in order to get her fully topped off there. And then Tokdar gets to move again. And what do we want to do here? We get a flank, that'll be good. And let's see if we can finish him off. Not quite. Alright, we do have the flank over here. It's important to get rid of those actions. And then... what to do here? I think Nightbringer's next. We can cast a shield to give us a small bonus there. And then we'll inspire courage again. Nightbringer casts fear. And one of the benefits of shield is it actually allows you to block magic missiles and a few other spells specifically. So the bad news is we can't use shield again this encounter. The good news is we stopped 5 damage there. Alright, so the next person to act is Kobold Warrior B. You can see if we put our cursor over here, it indicates it's him over here. So, let's see, if we strike... and those both missed. No one's really in bad shape right now, so let's try to Divine Lance somebody. Critical hit, killed him. And we can move, let's move over here to help give Tokdar an even better flank. Alright, now it's just Nightbringer left. Let's move over here. We can keep inspiring some courage to help our allies. What's he gonna do? Electric Arcs us? Oof! So he cast Electric Arc, which is a cantrip, deals 1d4 plus 4 damage. However, he does give a plus 2 damage bonus due to being elite there. Then we rolled a 1 on our cast from Anna, or from Scarlet. We took double damage, which meant instead of taking 9 damage, we took 18. And then Anna also rolled a 5, so Anna would have needed to roll higher. We really need to get her that full plate soon. And she took double damage, and she took 16. That was enough to drop both of them. Well, that puts us in a pickle. What can we do? The good news is one of the things you can do with heal... Oh, and they're also dying now. We'll go over more of that later on. The point is, if they ever hit dying 4, they're dead. They're both at 2 out of 4 dying because they critically failed. We're going to burn our heal scroll here, because we still have at least one more encounter. We may need the heals for that. You know what? We still have 3 more heals. I'm just going to burn the spell. So if we use heal as a 3 action, it'll heal everyone within 30 feet 1d8 hit points, plus An will get an extra 2. You might be saying, now does that include Nightbringer? Absolutely, but he's at full hit points anyway. So we rolled a 1 and a 2, which was not exactly the best. But at least they're back on their feet. And we can try to hit that jerk. Pick up Shortbow, we'll need to stand. And I'm going to come over here. And pick up the maul, stand. Miss. It's electric arcing us again. Just not great. He's about to deal 4 damage to Anna. That'll knock Anna unconscious. We can prevent 3 of that damage and smack him, so we'll do that. Got a critical hit, but Scarlet is down again. So what can we do here? Let's stabilize Scarlet. And then move over here, so Scarlet is no longer at risk of dying. But I don't know if we want to burn another full spell. We missed there. We missed there where he's not really attacking us, so we'll try again. Anna, let's inspire courage. I really should have delayed Tokdar first. Okay, he rolled a 1, a 1, and a 1. I guess that really wouldn't have helped. We can inspire courage. Got a good hit, 30% chance to hit again. And again, because Safi's close enough, we can take a reaction, block some of the damage, and smack him. So he's now down at literally 1 hit point. So we just need to hit him with anything. Have a Divine Lance, you jerk.
All threats eliminated. The air is clear.
But we're winded and hurt. We need some time to recover.
It's 4 miles still to the temple, and we only have 3 hours of daylight left.
Then let's only take a short break to treat our wounds, and then we'll carry on.
We did it! Received another of that. We received a potion of invisibility, and there's a scroll of Burning Hands. Burning Hands is an arcane or primal spell. We have an occult and a divine caster, meaning no one can use Burning Hands, but we can sell it later on. Alright. You find the abandoned temple ruins occupied by a powerful orc warrior and his small squad of kobolds. They're not willing to let you pass. Wow.
Quiet. Multiple hostiles in the ruins.
Why we listen to him? He not even kobold. He has the big neck splitter in hand. But he just idles here in old ruins like coward. He not worthy of being battle leader.
Shut your mouth, insolent creature. Or next time, I'll strike you with the pointy end.
Yow! Yes, battle leader.
And we do not idle. We protect the candelabra so the humans cannot retrieve it. It is the fiend's great stratagem.
But isn't Dark Skeleton in temple protecting it?
Ah, a skeleton. Puh. The undead cannot be trusted.
Battle leader, I see a party. They approach from the west.
Damn, we've been spotted. Diplomacy, Anna?
No, I don't think there's any point. This looks to be very important to them. We'll need to fight.
I will happily sink my sword into more kobolds. These little pests have terrorized Dawnsbury for long enough. To battle!
Ha! It's Tokdar. You're a traitor to your ancestry. Why did you betray us, renegade?
I left a band of marauders to live in a community of friends. I never regretted my decision.
But I will make you regret it today. To me, kobolds! Kill this traitor and crush his friends!
Alright. Well, this seems like a really good time to use that magic weapon. Let's give it to Tokdar. Enchant the longsword and raise our shield. Here they come. Alright, Scarlet was able to land that first. This is a clear shot on the Orc Warrior. He would be good to probably take out first if we can. 5% chance to hit, 10% chance to hit. Well, if we land a hit, it does go for double damage. Okay. Tokdar. Let's try to smack him. Let's raise our shield here. Okay, and over here we can do some other things. We can give Scarlet a magic weapon as well that increases her damage. Kill that kobold. Here comes the Orc Warrior. And we will block it. Yes, thank you. Safi, what are we going to do? I think a Divine Lance sounds pretty good. Mist. Healer's Blessing on somebody. I don't know who I want to put it on right now. We can give, let's give Scarlet a bonus on her next attack with Guidance. Alright, so we have the Orc Warrior as hunted. Lesser cover, clear. Okay. Well, eventually we'll roll, hopefully, something better here. Maybe. And take a second strike out at you, and we'll keep blocking your attacks. We have to deal with the crossbow wielders coming at us, which hurts a bit, like so. Took you out. And we'll inspire some courage. We probably should have raised a shield instead. Oh well. We have Anna is a bit banged up there, so we're gonna drop a heal on her. Raise our own shield. If I fire in melee here with the Orc Warrior, I will trigger an attack of opportunity. So I'm going to step up here first, and then fire at him. And in fact, we got a critical hit. We rolled a 19, and he took 22 damage. So I would have dealt 27 damage there, as you can see from looking at that. He has 22 hit points, so he should have died, except he's an orc, and he's ferocious, which means that if you bring him to 1 hit point, he will use his reaction to stay there and increase his wounded. So we have to hit him again. If we don't hit him before his turn comes up, then he regains his reaction and he can use his ferocity again. So we really want Tok'dar or Anna to take him out before it's his turn again. So, do the honors? Yes, there we go. Okay. Now it's just the 2 bolt scouts left. So, I'm feeling pretty good here. Still have a heal in the tank if we need it for something. He has cover. You have no cover. Deal 4 damage. Get a Retributive Strike in there. Almost down. Let's finish this.
Area secured. Nightfall is imminent.
Phew. This was exhausting.
I concur with the child. Even I cannot continue further today.
Then it's unanimous. We'll set up camp here. Scarlet, set up perimeter. Sappy, cooking. Tok'dar, loot the bodies.
Yes, Anna.
Yes, battle
I'm
leader.
on it.
We'll rest overnight to recover our energy and our spell slots. And then in the morning, we'll enter the temple.
Alright, we did it. Now we have our first long rest. Full hit points, focus pools replenished, once per day abilities become available again. Spellcasters have regained their spell slots. Hooray! Yeah, Anna has 2 spell slots per day. Yes, that's right. Okay. And we got an Orc Neck Splitter, and we got 2 Scrolls of Heal. We have a big, nice stash of these Scrolls of Heal now that we can pull out in case of emergency. Potion of Invisibility. Let's give Anna one in case she needs to make an escape. Lesser Healing Potion. Also, Anna. Yes, the night falls. You set up camp in a defensive location. You awaken in the morning full of energy in the first rays of the bright rising sun. The dark skeleton the orc spoke of here. This may be your hardest fight yet. Bah! 1 skeleton, what's the big deal?
I have a bad feeling about this place.
Let's move carefully. Sappy, what are these rooms to the left?
Chambers for sanctified fonts. They used to radiate positive energy. But now that the temple is crumbling, all the fonts are broken down.
There's a corpse by one of the fonts. Seems to have died to a slashing weapon.
Let's be careful.
A walking skeleton! An undead abomination ahead of us!
You've come to take the golden candelabra. The shaman has commanded that none may pass to take it.
The shaman? You mean it was an orc spellcaster who reanimated you?
Yes. He commanded that I kill anyone who tries to pass to the inner sanctum. I will execute his command now.
So orcs can sword with the undead now. I only pity that I didn't leave the tribe earlier. Come, abomination! I will lay you to rest!
Yes, I will come. But first, rise and serve. Bodies of the dead.
Curses! Zombies behind us. We're surrounded.
On your guard, everyone, and remain in formation.
That's a lot of zombies. Let's see what we can do about thinning their numbers. That's a good start. Lesser cover and everything else. Here comes the champion. Anna, let's give took our magical weapon here. And let's sing a song to inspire some courage. Safi, we're going to disrupt some undead here. The zombies will be more vulnerable. The skeleton champion's going to be a hard target, though. He has good AC, he has resistances to cold, electricity, fire, piercing, and slashing, and he has a shield. So I'm going to try... I'm going to zap him with the positive energy. Took 9 damage, that's good. And then I will raise my shield against the zombies who are about to come and try to kill everyone. Alright, so I can kill the zombie pretty easily, but I'm most worried about the skeleton champion right now, so I'm probably just going to go after him first, I think. Because we have this narrow corridor to help us. There we go. Now, he took 9 damage there. If we didn't have the... Well, first of all, if we weren't using the +1 bonus to the longsword, we wouldn't have hit. If we didn't have the magic thing. Also, if we didn't have the Inspire Courage, we also would not have hit. So both of those were necessary to hit there. The damage he took, our second die roll on the longsword was 7. If we didn't have that extra die, we would have only dealt 2 damage instead of 9. That's how important the magic weapon is. It literally quadrupled our damage on that hit. And this last swing, well, it's a 40% chance to hit there. I'm worried about him smacking Scarlet here, so let's... We missed, okay. The zombies are going to have to try to tumble through us if they want to get through there, so we'll be surrounded here. But it should be fine. Alright, so if we fire at the skeleton champion, we will provoke an attack of opportunity, but we can hunt prey him, and we can just try to punch him. There we go. Alright, because we had rolled a 15 plus 8 equals 23 versus 21. The big thing there is our Hunter's Edge precision still applies. The zombies and skeletons are not immune to precision damage. So our fist might have only done 1d4 plus 2, which is, 4. But then we added another 5 from the Hunter's Edge precision, and then we added another 1 from the Inspire Courage. So that worked out well. And we get to reduce the damage that they hit. We reduce the damage and kill it. Let's keep that Inspire Courage rolling and smack the zombie. This is going quite well so far. Let's disrupt that to kill it. Raise our shield. Killed that. Killed that. Alright, so we can see over here, like this hit right here, we dealt 8 extra damage, so the zombies have 20 hit points, so we did exactly enough to kill it, but it would not have been killed if we didn't have the magic weapon. This crit right here, 16 of that 39 was from that, so in that case we still would have killed it without the thing, but... yeah. But if we didn't have... if we were missing both the Inspire Courage and the +1 from the longsword, we would not have crit there. So, there's a lot of things that can help here, obviously. I'm not going to point that out quite as much, but that's why we use the magic weapon. It is such a big impact. Down to 1 zombie.
These were undead, Anna. We won our first fight against supernatural creatures.
Yes, child. The Oracle has smiled upon us today. And it felt invigorating to finally put all that training into good use against these undead abominations.
There's a hidden compartment in this pillar. I think that's a +1 weapon.
Then let's take it and then take some rest. And then we will go down into the sanctum.
We did it! And we found not just 1, but 2 +1 weapons? Well, damn. Okay, or maybe the +1 longsword was what the skeleton had. Let's talk about runes. These have runes on them, and we can detach those runes now. We could take this rune off and put it on this longsword, but in this case we'll just swap. However, being able to slap that on here seems good. I'm actually going to put it on Anna's weapon. You know what? No, I'm going to do the reverse. This way we don't have to enchant Scarlet's, because Anna's going to prioritize buffing her own weapon up. We have a Scroll of Bless. That could be very useful at times. Scroll of Bane, I'm not so impressed by that, and we can sell the rest. So, after everything, we see the great artifact in front of you, or ahead of you. But will it be so easy to take? Of course it will.
I see the candelabra! Wow, it's still lit aflame, even after 7 years of abandonment.
And only 2 rats protect it? Ha! This almost feels wrong.
It does feel wrong. Very suspicious.
I take your points, but perhaps we are just lucky. Let's kill the rats and take the artifact.
Excuse me, lady, those aren't just rats. Those aren't just giant rats. Those are elite giant rats. Alright, well, we'll need all the might at our disposal to defeat these elite giant rats. I will again let the rat come to us. Buff our own weapon up here. Raise our magical shield. See, if they were just rats, they would not have been able to dodge arrows like that. I'm going to go hide in the back. We did it! We slew the rat! And we have a lay on hands if we need to heal. I'm just gonna stay here and let the rat come for us. Okay. And let's toss out some needle darts here. Sing some praises to Valhalla.
Rats
and
are
smack.
dead. Let's grab the golden candelabra and return to the town and regale Dawnsbury with the tales of our glory.
Sounds good, Tok'tar.
It won't be as simple as that.
Stop being such a killjoy, Scarlet. Look, just walk over here and grab the candelabra.
Something is happening. I feel a surge of energy from the southern wall.
Wait, citizens! You would take the golden candelabra away from the Dawnsbury Temple?
This temple has been abandoned, Protector, as it's too far away, and a land controlled by kobolds. We have built a new temple closer by.
I think that's a magic mouth, Tok'tar. It's only a triggered message. Whoever said this is long gone.
Thankfully, my magic detected that you are citizens of Dawnsbury. But only worthy heroes may move my artifact.
My artifact. Is this the voice of the Dawnbringer?
Face now the gauntlet, citizens. If you pass, then you have my blessing to take the candelabra.
Does everyone give out blessings now? What's the point of even being a cleric then?
Monsters will spawn next round by the southern wall.
Then let's assume good positions and tackle the Dawnbringer's trial head on.
You had one job, Scarlet. You just had to grab the candelabra and we could leave. That's it. Alright, let's move down here. Raise a shield. We basically are going to wait to see what happens here.
Hayu, elu erala.
Alright, we got Lantern Archon that's elite and an elite flump. Total challenge rating of 4. Alright. The flump Deals 1d4 plus 1 persistent acid damage in addition to piercing damage. It likes to spray perfume, and it has bonuses to everything because it's elite. The Elite Lantern Archon, it has 3 heals, which means it can heal a lot, and it has a Retributive Strike, which gains resistance. So I think we're going to want to kill that first, in addition to having... It has... Okay, the hit point difference isn't much, but the AC is 1 less. Alright, we're going to go for the Lantern Archon first. If we move over here, we get to lesser cover. They both hit. How about that? There we go. And we'll move up into a flanking position here. And that is lawful good. What can we cast? We can cast... Well, I guess we can cast all of these. Okay. Let's toss out a chaotic. There we go. Deal 8 damage. Praise to Valhalla.
Ar eru araya oreono.
There's more of them. This is getting out of hand. There are 2 of them. Okay, I would like this one gone. There we go. We got animated statues and another elite flump. Okay. Tokdar. Everyone gets to go except Anna before then. Let's try retching. No. Try retching. No. Move over here to protect Safi. We're taking persistent acid damage there. What do these statues got? We got hardness 2 and immune to a whole bunch of stuff, including divine lance. It's all standard cover. Alright, let's just fire it out. Oh, that'll works. Dealt 8 damage, plus 1 from the Inspire Courage. Hooray. Raise their shield. And we have no line of sight here because of the pillars. So let's Inspire Courage and Shield. Here comes the flump. There's more! Okay. Let's start by trying to take out the statue here. No luck. I'm gonna let Scarlet deal with that and worry about this thing. We need to put some paint on it fast. Before, you know, something like that happens. Alright, that's down. And we can't raise the shield because we already used it. If we Inspire Courage, Guidance doesn't really help because Inspire already inspired Courage. So let's raise our shield. Here comes more statues. Alright, so we can try to retch, sing a battled hymn, try to smack. Well, that's just rude doing that. Well, this is not the best of positions to be in. We do have 19 AC still, though, all things equal. So that statue will go soon. Let's try to kill it. There we go. Yeah, 7 damage from that precision edge right there, which really helped. Alright, Tokzar, get over here. That works. Alright, well, we got Scarlet and Tokdar both at pretty low health here, but the only thing that gets to go is the animated statue, so I'm a lot more worried about Scarlet. So let's give her a Healer's Blessing, and we'll give her a heal, and she's good to go again. And I'm not going to sing a song this time because I want to try to smack that, but I missed. Let's see if we can take this out since we're still slowed. We did. And this will count as a flank.
A complete victory for the Dawnsbury 4. We have obtained the Golden Candelabra.
Yes, and, if nobody else wants to, then I volunteer to carry the artifact.
Oh, I want to take it. I'll happily take it back to Dawnsbury.
The trophy should be proudly displayed and presented high. I can assume the ceremonial role. On second thought, this honor belongs to the battle leader.
Right. Anna should take the artifact.
Yeah, you take it, Anna.
We'll bring it back together, everyone. As one team, one party.
Anna, I feel like the candelabra's glow field is still expanding.
I feel it too. I think after we take it back home, it will cover the whole of Dawnsbury, or perhaps the whole peninsula. Everyone will feel its glow and get accustomed to its warmth once again.
We did make Roderick proud, didn't we?
Yes, we did, Sappy. Now come, everyone. Let's return home. The quest for the Golden Candelabra is complete.
Woohoo! We did it! As we return to Dawnsbury with the Golden Candelabra in your hands, you notice a newfound power within you. The candelabra's glow helps bring it to light, and you feel yourself growing stronger. Congratulations! You have completed a chapter of Dawnsbury Days, and thus you have earned enough experience to level up. So, this is where we will stop this video. We will level up at the start of next time, and we will proceed to Chapter 2 of the story. I hope you've enjoyed, and I highly encourage you to get the game and play it yourself. It is available on Steam, and as I mentioned, the Profane Barrier is out as of yesterday as well. See you next time.